Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing my first mod on my 2023 Civic Type R. We're going to take this car grille mesh and we're going to be installing it on the side vents of the FL5. So one of the issues that I found with the FL5 is since the tires are quite sticky, it picks up a lot of rocks and pebbles and it throws them through this side vent, which eventually will scratch and damage the paint on your door and rocker panel. With this mesh installed, you're going to be able to protect that paint and not have to worry about any of the rock chips or damage. Kudos to Andrew on the Canadian Civic Type R Facebook group for recommending this mod. Alrighty, first things first, in order to perform this mod, you're going to need a few tools. You're going to need the mesh, which you can get on Amazon for about $22. I'll leave the links in the description below where you can find this mesh. You're also going to need a pair of shears, a plastic pry tool, and a Phillips head screwdriver. In this case, I'm using a ratcheting screwdriver. There are going to be 3 screws for you to remove, as well as 2 clips. So one thing I'd recommend before you start attempting to remove the screws, as I'm doing here, is to turn your wheel to the side of the fender that you're working on. That way it's easier to access the screws as well as the clips. Alrighty, so these screws are removed. A total of 3 screws, one here, and one here. And then now we're going to remove the 2 clips using our plastic prying tool. If you're having trouble like I am here taking out the clips, I'd recommend getting a second pry tool to help you out. The car is pretty new, so the clips are pretty stubborn to get out, so be careful not to break them. The next step we're going to do here is we're going to take a piece of paper and we're going to trace out the general shape of the mesh while keeping note of where the screw holes are. And then we're going to take the mesh and cut it to shape. Also, be careful not to cut your fingers. I'd also recommend wearing gloves as the mesh can get quite sharp, so just be careful. So as you can see here, I'm using the first piece of mesh that I cut as a template to cut the second piece. The mesh did require some trimming, even with the trace that I did earlier. So in order to make my life just a little bit easier, I used it as a template to create the second piece for the driver's side. So after fitting the mesh to the fender, I did finish it off with some Gorilla Tape on the edges, and this is just to prevent any scratches to the fender as I'm installing it, as well as any possible rattle as you're driving. I'll throw up a picture of the side here so you guys can take a look. After you're finished installing the mesh into the vent, you just have to reinstall the clips, put the screws back on, and you're done. Here are the final results. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.